The Four Noble Truths Explained, a guide to Buddhist teachings. Welcome to the Minimalist Monk. Today, we're exploring one of the core foundations of Buddhism, the Four Noble Truths. This profound teaching was the Buddha's first sermon after attaining enlightenment, offering a clear and practical guide to understanding suffering and achieving lasting peace. If you're looking to deepen your knowledge of Buddhism or simply seeking a meaningful approach to life, the Four Noble Truths provide timeless wisdom that's accessible to everyone. The Four Noble Truths are simple but powerful teachings that lay out a path to inner peace and liberation from suffering. They address the realities of life, why we experience pain and dissatisfaction, and, most importantly, how we can transform our lives to find joy and fulfillment. Let's dive into each truth and explore its significance in our lives. First noble truth, the truth of suffering, dukkha. The first noble truth, dukkha, translates to the truth of suffering or dissatisfaction. It teaches that life inherently involves suffering, not just in the dramatic sense of illness or loss, but also in the subtle, everyday experiences of dissatisfaction. According to Buddhism, suffering arises in three forms: physical suffering, birth, aging, illness, and death; emotional suffering, grief, disappointment, loneliness; and existential suffering, a sense of incompleteness or longing. Dukkha isn't meant to be a pessimistic statement about life. Rather, it's a realistic acknowledgement. Buddhism encourages us to look at suffering directly, without denial or avoidance, so we can understand it and move beyond it. When we accept that suffering is a natural part of life, we can approach it with more compassion, both for ourselves and others. For instance, think about moments of frustration or sadness. These are universal human experiences. By recognizing them as part of the shared human condition, we begin to release the resistance we often have towards suffering. Acknowledging the truth of suffering is the first step in finding inner peace and understanding the path forward. Second noble truth, the cause of suffering, samudaya. The second noble truth, samudaya, reveals that suffering has a cause: craving and attachment. In Buddhism, craving, or tanha, is described as the desire for things to be a certain way, often paired with attachment to material possessions, relationships, or even our ideas and beliefs. We suffer when we cling to things that are impermanent or seek to control aspects of life that are beyond our control. This craving manifests as a constant need for more happiness, more success, more possessions. We often believe that if we achieve or obtain these things, we'll be happy. However, as soon as we get what we desire, new cravings arise, creating an endless cycle of wanting. This craving leads to dissatisfaction, as life is always changing and nothing remains the same. Understanding that craving is the root of suffering doesn't mean we have to give up our desires entirely. Instead, Buddhism encourages us to recognize how our attachments create stress and anxiety. By seeing the source of our suffering clearly, we can begin to let go of the need to control everything, allowing us to approach life with a greater sense of ease and acceptance. Third noble truth, the end of suffering, nirvana. The third noble truth, nirvana, states that it's possible to end suffering. This teaching offers hope and a vision for a life free from the cycle of craving and attachment. According to the Buddha, when we release our attachment to desires and let go of clinging, we experience a profound sense of inner peace and contentment. This state of liberation from suffering is called nirvana, a state of mental clarity, freedom, and joy. Nirodha teaches that by overcoming our attachment to temporary things and achieving detachment, we can transcend suffering. This doesn't mean becoming indifferent or detached from life, but instead finding a balanced, peaceful approach where we're no longer controlled by desires. Nirvana is not a physical place, but a state of mind, an enduring sense of tranquility and freedom from the burdens of attachment. For those of us who are not monks or dedicated Buddhist practitioners, achieving nirvana may seem distant. However, Even small steps in reducing attachment, like letting go of the need for constant approval or material possessions, can bring significant peace and clarity. The third noble truth reminds us that the path to freedom from suffering is within reach. Fourth noble truth, the path to the end of suffering, Magga. The fourth noble truth, Mukka, introduces the Eightfold Path, the practical steps for ending suffering and achieving liberation. The Eightfold Path is often divided into three categories: wisdom, ethical conduct, and mental discipline. It provides a clear roadmap for living in a way that reduces suffering and cultivates compassion. Mindfulness and insight. Here's a brief overview of the Eightfold Path. Right understanding. Samadhi, seeing life with clarity and understanding the Four Noble Truths. Right understanding involves recognizing the nature of suffering, its cause, and how to overcome it. Right intention. Samma, Sankappa, developing intentions of goodwill, compassion, and letting go of harmful desires. Right intention is about cultivating a kind and purposeful mindset. Right speech. Samma Vaka, practicing mindful communication, refraining from lying, harsh words, and gossip. Right speech encourages us to speak truthfully and compassionately. Right action. Samakamanta, acting in ways that don't cause harm to ourselves or others. Right action includes ethical behavior, such as refraining from violence, theft, and dishonesty. Right livelihood. Sama Ajiva, choosing work that aligns with ethical values and does no harm. Right livelihood encourages us to earn a living in ways that benefit, rather than harm, others. Right effort. Samavima, making a conscious effort to improve ourselves, avoid harmful behaviors, and cultivate positive qualities. Right effort is about maintaining a balanced dedication to personal growth. Right mindfulness. Samasati, practicing mindfulness by staying aware of our thoughts, emotions, and surroundings. Right mindfulness involves living in the present moment and observing our experiences without judgment. Right concentration. Samma Samadhi, developing mental focus and clarity through meditation. Right concentration helps us calm the mind and achieve deep inner peace. By following these 8 steps, we can reduce suffering, cultivate inner peace, and foster a life of compassion, wisdom, and purpose. The Eightfold Path is not a rigid rulebook. It's a flexible, practical approach to living that anyone can incorporate into daily life. Putting the Four Noble Truths into practice. Applying the Four Noble Truths in daily life is about taking small, mindful steps toward understanding and reducing suffering. Start by observing your own attachments, whether to material possessions, relationships, or beliefs, and notice how they impact your peace of mind. Practice letting go of these attachments gradually, and you'll begin to experience greater freedom. Incorporate mindfulness and meditation into your daily routine to cultivate a calm, focused mind. As you develop awareness of your thoughts and emotions, you'll be better equipped to handle the ups and downs of life with grace and resilience. Finally, the Eightfold Path offers guidance for ethical living, helping us to build positive relationships, make wise choices, and create a compassionate world. By practicing the Four Noble Truths, we don't just transform ourselves, we contribute to a more peaceful, harmonious society. Conclusion: a path to inner peace. The Four Noble Truths provide a profound yet practical approach to life's challenges. They remind us that suffering is part of the human experience, but with understanding and practice, we can find freedom and joy. By embracing these truths, we learn to live with compassion, clarity, and a deeper appreciation for the present moment. Thank you for joining the Minimalist Monk on this journey into the Four Noble Truths. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more insights on Buddhist teachings, mindfulness, and finding peace. Remember, the path to liberation begins with understanding, and it's a journey we're all capable of taking.